name is Nirmita, and I'm going to present about the event that my group chose, titled Organizational Culture, based on an article entitled Lesson from the Tumult at Uber. Travis Kalanick stepped down from his post as Uber's chief executive, and it turned out that Mr. Kalanick stepped down under pressure after two venture capitalists visited him with an investor letter demanding him to leave. The culmination of the chief executive loss of support over many months. Mr. Kalanick's exit came under pressure after hours of drama involving Uber's investors, according to two people with knowledge of the situation. 5 of Uber's major investors demanded that the chief executive resign immediately. The investors made their demand for Mr. Kalanick to step down in a letter delivered to the chief executive while he was in Chicago. The investors made their demand for Mr. Kalanick. The company has been exposed this year as having a workplace culture that included sexual harassment and discrimination, and it has pushed that envelope in detail with law enforcement and even partners. That tone was set by Mr. Kalanick, who has aggressively turned the company into the world's dominant ride-hailing service and transportation industry around the globe. Mr. Kalanick's troubles began earlier this year after a former Uber engineer detailed what she said was sexual harassment at the company. In addition, Uber has been dealing with an intellectual property lawsuit from Waymo, the self-driving car business that operates under Google's parent company. In recent months, Uber has fired more than 20 employees after an investigation into the company's culture, embarked on major changes to professionalize
Hello, my name is Li Jiayi. I'm from HE21, and for my part, I chose the attitude and development and perception on this event. Attitude is a tendency to respond positively or negatively towards certain object, people, or subject. It influences an individual's choice of actions. There are 4 major components of attitude, which are emotion or feels, cognitive, evaluation, and for perception, it is a process of an individual translate his or her sensory impressions into a coherent and unified view of the world around them. Perception will affect an individual's attitude. An individual have a positive perception will have a positive attitude. Example, for the Uber company, they try to reform itself in order to roll out some changes to its ride-hailing apps. And for negative perception of an individual, they will have negative attitudes. For example, Travis Kalanick stepped down from his post as Uber's chief executive under pressure due to the demanding letter from 2 venture capitalists asking him to leave. For the importance of attitude development, we need to practice to have positive perception in order to develop a positive attitude, because it impacts the overall performance, and we need to develop the right attitude in order to overcome obstacles. By developing positive attitudes, for example, Uber company, they develop the positive attitudes in overcoming obstacles from the tumult by reforming itself. And for the examples for developing negative attitudes, Mr. Kalanick had given impact towards the overall performance of the company, which is the Uber company due to his resignation.
Hello, my name is Nurita Shafinas. I'm from HE21. Today I'm going to talk about leadership in organizational culture. Leadership defined as the action of the leading a group of people or organization. According to Norman, in 1936, leadership is the combination of strategy and character. There is two types of leadership, which is transformational and transactional, whereas power can be defined as influence and command. There is a two type of power, which is personal and formal. Leadership and power are closely linked. Uber has a bold vision for cities of the future, but it was lost in its lack leadership. Can the company regain its inspirational mission? Is one of the lines from the news, one lesson Uber teaches us about leadership and vision. The article we choose Uber, they recently have changed their VP for Travis Kalanick to Frances Frey, as they thought leadership is a main issue to be handled in an organization. In numerous open appearances, the troubled author and Frame CEO, Travis Kalanick, stressed the significance of an innovation, not organization. Transportation coordinates and driverless autos to lessen activity and clock, air contamination and stopping. Possibly more impressive is the positive effect an organization like Uber could have on the human cost regarding decreased anxiety, mishaps and second-hand well-being suggest coming about because of car discharges. This is a major vision and one that I consider numerous us can conquer on once we get over the dread of man-made brain power offering ascent for robot overloads. The issue was that vision lost in the progressing examination concerning Uber for charged inappropriate behavior and flawed business reasons. Additionally, Kalanick, the man who was setting the vision, was associated with various open showcases of, to a great degree, misguided thinking and initiative. The greater part of this oath to remind every one of us that exceptional leadership can execute an extraordinary organization vision. In my point of view, leaders should be responsible to ensure there is no issue in organization that could lead to management problem. This could also help the leader to take the right decision in the issue as it doesn't affect the organization.
Hi, I'm Vilashni Raichandran from HE21. I'm going to explain on conflict and negotiation. Conflict and negotiation need 8 parts about running a benefit of the business. Benefit of the business manager face clash for partners, managers, representative, and the overall population. Negotiation is a technique eventually pursuing which individuals settle contrast. It will be a procedure by which trade-off alternatively understanding is arrived at same time avoiding contention. Furthermore questions. Conflict often happens when people need different ideas, conviction or hypotheses regarding benefits of the business operation. Business owners might additionally figure conflict at handling with people or different organizations. In this article, conflict begins when 5 major investors of Uber requested Chief Executive Travis Kalanick to resign immediately. The investors included one of the Uber's biggest shareholders, the venture capital firm Benchmark, which has one of its partners, Bill Gurley, on Uber's board. This trouble begins when an employee stated about sexual harassment at the company. Negotiation is regularly essential should make a friendliness result. For now, gatherings included in the clash. After receiving the letter, Mr. Kalanick quickly called Ariana Huffington, an Uber board member, for advice. Ms. Huffington suggested Mr. Kalanick that the letter is worth considering. Mr. Kalanik bolted himself over a room with Mr. Kohler and Mr. Fenton on hash out those best course for Uber. Toward those limit of the day, following hours for wrangling, arguing, that span might have been clear. Mr. Kalanik suitably on ventured down similarly as Uber's CEO. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jerome Wu Ping Hao. I come from HG21. Today I will present about interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication means the process of exchange information, news, or message between two or more people, which is person use word, sentence, and non-verbal behavior to deliver the feeling, thought, and the speaking intention. Uber learn the lesson from the tumor because they know how and why interpersonal communication is important to an organization. For example, David Kalanik said that the company does not communicate well with their driver and always take customer word over them without communication with their driver and their man. But now Uber use interpersonal communication with their driver and exchange information or messages. Uber driver know how to deliver the feeling and thought, so they feel comfort work with Uber. That's all. Thank you.
My name is Phua Jung Kai, and my part is give my assessment and recommendation for the event. The first question is, was it handled well? Then I think it is handled very well, and because two venture capitalists demand Mr. Kalanik to leave, they show coercive power. Coercive power is defined as the ability to influence someone's decision making by taking something away as punishment or threatening if the person doesn't follow the instruction. Mr. Kalanik demands to resign a punishment because he does not follow the objective of organization, and this punishment would teach workers a lesson and remind them not to repeat the same mistake. And for the second question, would you done something differently? For me, yes. First of all, I will apologize to every victim and promise that I won't repeat the same mistake again through social media. Next, I will make a self-enhancements to improve and strengthen my action to overcome the problem. Then, I will improve my self-awareness. I will be aware of my attitude, values, and beliefs to obtain better understanding in my behavior and decision. It also helped me to lead others effectively. Then the third question is, what could Mr. Kalanik have done differently? Coercive power may be effective for worker loyalty, but it would affect satisfaction of worker in long term. So Mr. Kalanik should use reference power. Reference power is defined as ability of leader in leadership to develop respect